You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind.
With the emergence of global internet, a human population of several billions, an electronic noosphere, that we are now within the shadow of this transcendental object at the end of time.
I find it a little difficult to say what the subject matter is going to be, because
Logic is an enemy and truth is a menace.
Shake and bake, steps back, three-pointer, bang!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an episode where we talk about American football. We're here with our usual selves. I am Tom, and joined as always by my lovely co-host.
I wish I could do the accent, but Adam.
Well, I'm Jenny here from the 1920s, the decade where football was very large in colleges across the United States of America. And we're here to talk about one of the greatest sports known to man, American football. How are you doing today?
I like the accent, but it makes me a little uncomfortable. I can't lie.
Why does it make you uncomfortable? Is it because you think I'm a racist?
No. No, but I'm excited to talk some football today. I got my Colts jersey
I am
on.
too. I wish I had the wherewithal to have worn a football jersey today. I wish I had come in here in like a Russell Wilson or a...
Yeah.
That's like a vintage piece of Colts memorabilia. You got the
Yes.
Marvin Harrison joint on.
Marvin Starvin.
Starvin Marvin, number 88. God
Yep.
damn, what a receiver.
Yep. One of the greatest.
You guys could use him right now.
For
All
real,
in
bro.
three.
We could use all the help we can get. Yeah, it's
So-
been tough.
I'm sure we've mentioned it before on the show. So this is a sports episode, and we've done sports episodes before, but mainly we've just talked about basketball. So I don't know if we've said it on the show before, but I think we have. I'm a gigantic Seattle Seahawks fan. Adam is a gigantic Indianapolis Colts fan. And we both live in Houston, which makes no fucking sense. But,
Not at all.
So we're here to talk about football today and about our teams and our thoughts on the current NFL season. Adam and I are also in 2 fantasy football leagues together, so we might discuss a little bit of fantasy. But I guess I'll just kick the podcast off by saying, what are your thoughts so far in this current NFL season?
It's been great. It's been really fun. It's interesting. It's teams have been switching up like
Yeah.
crazy. Like teams that were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago are bottom of the league. Teams that are you would never expect to be great are playing top-notch football like
I know.
Arizona Cardinals.
I mean, the Arizona
I mean,
Cardinals,
yeah.
they showed some potential last year, but I mean, they are just fucking on fire. They look like huge contenders this year.
Yeah.
Kansas City looks rough.
Yeah.
The team that, a year ago or 2 years ago, you like wouldn't be able to imagine this team not being dominant. And now they are 1-2, and they do not look like, anything resembling the Kansas City Chiefs of last year or the Super Bowl champs of the year before. So,
Yeah. So it's been cool to see. I mean, it's still super early. I mean, we're only going into week 4, so
Sure.
it's so early. And then it's an extended season. We have an extra game.
yeah.
So that kind of changes things up, which is really cool.
What do you like the
And,
17-game season?
Well, I mean, it's the first time doing it. So
No, we did last year.
I'm sorry. So last year was the first year doing it.
Yeah, last year
And
was
then
the
so
first
this is the second year. So, I mean, it's like I get it. It's
Yeah.
cool, but I do think it could take especially I think it'll limit people's careers. I think maybe
Right.
some people might have shorter careers because of it.
Right.
Maybe not. I don't know. It's one game. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
But I feel
they
like it's going to
also-
take a toll on people,
They also shortened preseason as
Yeah.
well. But I guess it doesn't really matter because
Yeah.
most of the guys that are
They're not playing anyway.
they're not playing anyway.
Yeah.
So the main thing I hate about the 17-game season, I don't really have a big problem with it, but the main thing I hate about it is how it's fucked up all the math in my head. I used to just be able to think, yeah, they look like an 11-win football team, and in my
Yeah,
head
yeah.
I'm just thinking 11-5. But now I have to do all the math for
Right.
fuck. There's an extra game. An 11-win team has 6 losses, and it's interesting to see that now you can. Go 9-8, and that's like there's no going 500 anymore. There's no like, oh, they're a 500 team. Like someone's ending with one more loss or one more win.
Unless they get a tie.
I guess unless you can go 8-1.
Yeah.
Ties are another thing that I don't think should exist in football.
Yeah.
I think it's absurd.
Yeah.
Just play another overtime or go to a field goal shootout or whatever you want to call it. But
Can you
don't.
imagine a field goal
I
shootout?
know, it'd be so crazy. And you would have to start at like the 50 and
Yeah.
just like go back 3 yards at a time or something.
Right.
Unless you'd be fine if you had Justin Tucker
Shit, that was a crazy kick, man. Longest field goal in
know.
NFL
Did
history.
you see Madden changed his rating to 99?
What was he before? Like
I don't know. He's probably
97?
pretty high. I mean, he was always one of the best kickers in the league and
for
one of
sure.
the most consistent.
Yeah.
But so talking about how teams are different this year than they were last year, our teams, which are usually playoff candidates, both look kind of rough this
Bottom
year.
of the divisions.
Yeah, the Seahawks are 1-2, which normally wouldn't be too scary, except for the fact that our division is wild right now. The Rams are 3-0, the Cardinals are 3-0, and unless Aaron Rodgers didn't do Aaron Rodgers things, the 49ers would be 3-0. And, you know, even though the 49ers lost that game, they should be really optimistic. Their team looks really good.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can, you know, kind of stave off that injury bug, because I know that's really hard for them to do, especially after last year. But, man, my Seahawks, I have so many thoughts. The Seahawks put up a post yesterday on Instagram wishing happy birthday to Ken Norton, who is our defensive coordinator. And I was like, oh, God, these comments are going to be... I went to the comments, and the entirety of the city of Seattle was just like, fucking fire this man for his birthday. How does he still have a job? You know, give him his severance package as a birthday gift. Like,
Man,
people were
sometimes
just...
fans, they just be ruthless, man.
But, I mean, he's been bad for a while now. Last year, we were unquestionably the worst secondary in the NFL.
yeah.
I don't understand how the Seattle Seahawks have such a hard time stopping the pass. I don't understand. They went from being a team that won a Super Bowl just 8 years ago, went to back-to-back Super Bowls, 7 years ago. Literally, we were known for being the biggest defensive team in the league, and we went from that to now we cannot stop a pass to save our lives. 3rd and long, 3rd and 15, we'll give up a 20-yard, slant route down the field.
Didn't they basically create like a different style or scheme of defense that was like kind of new at that time, and then people now have kind of figured it out, and it's not as effective as it was?
I guess so. Dan Quinn was our defensive coordinator at the time, and he cooked that up in his head, the Legion of Boom defense. I don't really know the ins and outs of what made that defense.
I think it was like a cover 2 style defense where like you would have... Well, it gave you the ability to kind of fill the box, but also have a safety. It was interesting. I remember watching a video about it, but it was kind of new at the time, and that's why it was like so effective, I think.
Well, I will say one of the other things that made that defense so amazing was the fucking dudes we had.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's gonna help for sure.
Cam Chancellor.
Yeah.
At the time, Richard Sherman was the best cornerback in the league.
He's actually about to get signed.
I know he's looking good in practice. He picked Brady in practice. But, I mean, we had Cam Chancellor. We had prime Richard Sherman. We had prime Earl Thomas. We had prime... And Bobby Wagner's still amazing, but we had, like, prime Bobby Wagner. We had K.J. Wright, Brandon Browner. Like, these dudes that were just absolute monsters. We had a really fucking nasty D-line. We had a prime Michael Bennett. And so it's like... Now we have kind of a shell of what that team was personnel-wise, but they just don't play the same, and... It's really frustrating because the Seahawks are one of those teams where Pete Carroll is like, I've got my guys. He's my guy. And he's like really loyal to everyone that he has. He's very reluctant. The Seahawks are very reluctant to fire anyone. You have some teams where they lose 4 weeks in a row and they fire the head coach. The Seahawks, I don't know if it's just because Pete has been there for so long. It's like his 11th season as the Seahawks head coach or what, but he's very reluctant to fire people. Coach Schottenheimer, who was our offensive coordinator, when the Seahawks just like were not, doing well offensively, and it was before the like let Russ cook thing. It was like we would just run the ball until we were down by 14 or 17 in the fourth quarter, and then they were like, okay, well we're down 17 in the fourth quarter. Let Russ go, and sometimes Russ would work a miracle and we would win, but they would just rely on Russell, doing miracles, and they were like just. For some reason, so weirdly dedicated to being a running team. But when we had Marshawn Lynch, we didn't want to be a running team. I don't know. It's just... So it's frustrating to watch your team come into a new season and they're not playing the way you thought they would play, because I was really optimistic for this year, and I still am. It's still early.
Yeah.
I really like the way we drafted. I'm really excited for when Stone Forsythe, our new rookie offensive lineman, can start playing, because Russell desperately needs more protection. As always, some things never change. We've got the 49ers this week, and we really have to bounce back. If we can bounce back and move our record up to 2-2 with a big divisional win, I'd be happy. And then the week after that, we have the Rams on prime time. So that is like 2 big divisional matches that I'm really nervous about. But I think the Seahawks will wind up.
Have you looked at the rest of their schedule?
Yeah. I'm actually going to go see them later this year when they play the Texans in December.
Yeah.
I've looked at the rest of their schedule. Obviously, they have to play everyone in our division twice, which already makes things hard. Yeah, their schedule is moderately difficult. I wouldn't say it's more difficult than anyone's outside of playing the really hard teams in our division.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can wind up being maybe a wild card team. I think there's a decent chance we miss the playoffs this year. If we really get our shit together, I think we can get in the wild card round and make something happen, because now there's an extra team that gets in. You know, each division gets an extra wild card team that makes it in.
Yeah. And if we could say the Rams stay healthy, they're going to win the division. Hands down, right? So
I mean, I don't want to say hands down because things happen, teams hit slumps, but
I mean,
if I had to bet my fucking car keys on it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Rams, they probably undoubtedly the best NFL team right now.
Yeah, I'm actually on NFLPowerRankings.com because I thought later we could talk about power rankings.
Yeah, for sure.
They are firmly sitting at number 1. They were at number 3 last week, and they they jumped up 3 spaces. They were in 4 last week. Now they're in 1. They played the Bucs last week, and the Bucs are the defending Super Bowl champions. People were convinced this is the greatest defense in the league. This high-powered offense is unstoppable. Brady is a god. There's no way to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Rams fucked them up. Yeah,
I mean, I kind of knew going into it that the Bucs weren't the best defense. Something told me, like, I don't know. I feel like they're way overhyped, their defense at least. And then Matt Stafford looked like the better quarterback that game, for sure.
Dude, like, Matt Stafford, I mean, he had like 350 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, made it look easy.
Yeah, and I always knew Matt Stafford was a great quarterback. I was like, just let this man get on a different football program.
Yeah, for sure.
He's proving to everyone.
Sure.
It makes me mad because I'm like, damn, he probably could have been like one of the elites for years if he wasn't just in Detroit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think he still is, though, like, because a lot of people like to judge people based on how many wins you got, how many chips you got, whatever. Yeah. But, like, if you just look at him as a player overall, that's what I like to do. I like to look at him just as a player, who he is, what he can do. I mean, he's definitely, undoubtedly, probably will go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks, you know, like top 10 at least.
You think Matt Stafford's a top 10 quarterback?
Based on talent and...
Top 10 of all time?
I mean, of our generation.
Of our generation, he'll get remembered for sure, but not top 10
I think he's better than a Big Ben, even though Big Ben's won Super Bowls. I think he's better than... I mean, I put him on top of guys...
I don't know if he's better than prime Big Ben.
As far as skill, like talent level, I think he's not too far from Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, that's really wrong. Aaron Rodgers might be the most talented quarterback who's ever lived.
No, I'm saying he's not that far away. I'm saying Aaron Rodgers is definitely better, more skilled. But I'm saying if you watch him play, if you ever watch Matt Stafford and break down his film or break down just like the throws he makes, dude, it's incredible. Like this dude, he gets obviously been underrated his whole career because he's been in Detroit, and people look at him like, oh, he's just another guy. He's just another this, that. Like, I mean, he's definitely better than like a Phillip Rivers. He's better than a Big Ben. He's better than like a lot of those guys you put in a top-notch quarterback. He's better than all of them.
You think he's?
But you
better?
don't.
Yeah.
But you don't think
he's better
so.
than Matt Ryan.
He's better than Matt Ryan, easy.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Matt Ryan's gonna go down as a Hall of Famer, for sure.
He's better than Alex Smith.
2-time. Well, how many MVPs Matt Ryan won? One. He's at least won one MVP.
MVP?
Yeah, and Matt Ryan won MVP.
Maybe a Super Bowl MVP. I don't think.
No, Matt Ryan has MVP. Yeah.
The year they won, or the year they went to the Super Bowl, or what?
I think so. Yeah, the year they went to the Super Bowl.
He definitely doesn't have a Super Bowl MVP after blowing that fucking 20.
Yeah, I think that year he won MVP.
Year?
Probably like 2016 or something. I don't know. But anyways, all I'm saying is Matt Stafford's going to prove himself, if he hasn't already, to people. I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. They're definitely going to go to the Super Bowl this year, I think, and prove some people.
2017.
Yeah.
2017, he won 25 votes.
See, and I think Matt Stafford's better than him. So what all I'm saying is Matt Stafford's underrated.
Matt Ryan has really fallen off, but yeah.
And I think he's like an elite level quarterback, like for sure. You know, that's what I think about.
It just
Matt
depends
Stafford.
on your definition of elite, because I think there's a very small window of dudes that are elite. You know,
I think Matt Stafford's
Rodgers
in there.
is elite. Brady is still elite. Rodgers, Brady, Mahomes, Russell Wilson is elite. I don't know if he's really good. He's really good.
For me, I put him in that category just based on how I've seen him play. That's just me. But everyone has their own opinions.
But when we look back at our generation, I mean, it's obviously going to be Brady, Manning, Breeze. I don't know if you count like Mahomes as our generation or if he's like the next generation.
Yeah, he's like next gen.
Yeah. But of our generation, Big Ben, Brady, Breeze, Rodgers, Russ, even though, I guess Russ is our generation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, Matt Stafford is definitely going to get remembered. I think he'll definitely make the Hall of Fame.
But here's the thing. All those guys you named had, at one point, great teams around them. At one point, right? I mean, you can argue, they had crappy teams around them for a good chunk of their career, but most of those guys had great teams around them at some point
and
got
to
the Super Bowl.
Prime Phillip Rivers? Phillip Rivers, the best year he's ever had.
I love Phillip Rivers, but I think Matt Stafford has a much better arm. I mean, I just think he's gotten crapped on because he's been to Detroit. Anyone who goes to Detroit, they're going to look shitty and have you know what I mean? Like, even Megatron went there, and people forget who that is. People, who? You know what I mean? Because he played in Detroit. Like, anyone who goes to Detroit, you just get...
I wonder what it's like to be a Lions fan.
Yeah, it just sucks.
Hard.
So now that he's in the Rams, I guarantee people are going to glorify him now. Watch the media blow up and like, oh, Matt Stafford's the greatest. Right. Watch this. I guarantee you. At the end of the year, they're going to say Matt Stafford's amazing.
Well,
blah, blah, blah.
That's one thing that always comes with playing in L.A. or New York. If you win or succeed in L.A. or if you win and succeed in New York, your success is like monumentally magnified. Like the Knicks just went to the playoffs, and people were like, the New York Knicks. And I'm a Knicks fan, and I can tell you that was fucking insane. They were a 5 seed that lost in the first round, or a 4 seed or whatever. So, winning in those cities is crazy. I think now, like, Jared Goff will just fade off into obscurity. Like a dude that we used to talk about a lot purely because he was quarterbacking, an LA team, and he was like this Cali boy quarterbacking the LA Rams. I think he's going to go to Detroit. Detroit's going to suck for his entire career there, and we're slowly just going to forget about Jared Goff.
Maybe.
Who was once a Super Bowl quarterback.
He doesn't look that bad, though. He didn't look that bad. I watched a couple games.
Did he throw a couple bad picks last week?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he doesn't look that bad. He still looks like he can run an offense,
He's lucky they play indoor, man, because he's horrible when it's cold outside or when it's raining. He's such a California
Oh, no,
boy.
what happened was there's something wrong with his hands, dude. He went back to make a pass and the ball just slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, he's got weird hands.
Yeah, that's happened multiple times to him.
I think he has little hands.
I think that's what it is, too.
And I think a lot of quarterbacks, they have but his hands are little, and when it's cold outside or when it's wet, he does horribly.
Yeah, that's funny.
He just has little hands.
Yeah.
I should give him a little tiny football.
But yeah. All right, I want to move on to the Colts a little bit.
Tell me about your Colts.
Because, we're talking football, and this is my favorite squad. And we're looking like crap this year. And I'm rocking the jersey, as you can see.
That's right.
Which, actually, when I bought this jersey, I was probably like middle school or something, and you can see it still fits me now. And I bought it bigger for that reason. I was like, I'm gonna be a lifelong Colts fan. I already knew, I just knew I was like, I'm gonna be a Colts fan.
In this jersey.
Yeah, I'm like, at least I can wear it when I'm older, because I don't want to get a small jersey at the time and then not be able to wear it when I'm old. But I didn't grow much, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Probably could have fit it anyway. So, but yeah, dude. So obviously the biggest news with the Colts, we got Carson Wentz. And that was so much drama and shit behind it when it all went down. And so far, no wins. So, it's like hard to say if it's been a successful trade. Was it a good thing to do?
Yeah.
But, the other options didn't look too good. We were going to get Matt Stafford for a minute. Everyone was saying we could have got Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford was planning on coming.
Matt Stafford is definitely better than Carson Wentz. That would have been, if you could have made that happen, that would have been great for y'all.
Yeah. At this time, Matt Stafford's definitely better. But, obviously Carson Wentz had an injury-plagued career. Just got his ankles rolled up a couple weeks ago. Still came back and played, which is super, tough of him to do. Much respect for that. I don't know how he played with 2 rolled ankles, dude. It's insane. But he hasn't looked bad. He hasn't had a bad game. The team has just not been executing on offense. Right. We've had multiple times where we had a 4th and 1 or a 4th and goal and just didn't convert and losing the game. We lost to the Rams by 3 points.
Yeah.
Which is come on. And in that game, we had, I think there was a point where we fumbled a snap or something and turned over the ball. Like there was a couple times like that happened where it was just like bonehead, like just stupid mistakes that you just don't make as an NFL team that we did. And we still only lost by 3 points, which is, I think, says something about our squad because, I mean, we compete. And, like, I think last year we had, like, 8 games decided by, like, 3 or 6 points or something like that. So, like, we stay in games and we can compete with the best of them. Mm-hmm. And we got a ton of talent. And it's really just making those pieces come together. So I really don't know if it's coaching or if it's just like we're just getting off to a slow start. We got to get the ball rolling. I don't know what's happening. Yeah. It's really hard to say. But obviously injuries suck. Quentin Nelson went down, I think, last week. I don't know if he's going to come back or not. He's our best lineman, probably one of the best linemen in the NFL. And hopefully he comes back. So the biggest thing is we got to execute, man. The Colts got to execute on offense. We got to make plays. Our defense is fine, I feel like. I mean, they're not the greatest, but I feel like we're definitely top 10.
Right.
The offense just got to execute. So we'll see. And then hopefully T.Y. comes back some point mid-season. That'll help a lot. But our division, we got Tennessee. That's our only competitors right now is Tennessee.
I mean, you really don't need to worry about the Jags. Yeah. And with Tyrod Taylor being hurt and it looking like Deshaun Watson is not going to play a single game for the Texans, you don't really need to worry about the Texans.
Hey, but Mills looks kind of good. He doesn't look too bad.
Oh, yeah. The longest neck in the fucking league. They're calling him next man up. The next man up. I mean,
he didn't look too bad.
No, sure, he could have some potential, but this year the Texans aren't going to be a threat for y'all.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of teams have rebounded from 0-3. Like, you guys could go on a 5-game winning streak after this. So
for sure.
The Colts are definitely not out of it. I would like to see them, make some noise in the division because I would like to see the Titans kind of be challenged a bit.
Yeah. What's the Titans' record? 2-1.
They're 2-1.
They just beat the Seahawks last week.
Yeah, they beat both of our teams.
Yeah.
So they beat your team Wait. No, the Seahawks lost to the Vikings last week.
Oh, no, the week before that, sorry.
Week before that, they beat the Seahawks.
Yeah.
This past week, they beat the Colts, right? 25-16.
Yeah.
Isn't that who?
Yeah.
So, but I don't remember who I know they looked bad in week 1 and they lost. But I just can't remember who beat them.
Yeah, now Derrick Henry's rolling, though, man. The dude's a freaking monster.
So, in 2 of the 3 leagues that I'm in, he was my first pick.
Yeah.
And after that first week, I was like, fuck, did I make a mistake? Is the Derrick Henry, train over with?
No,
but he's still a beast. And he's about to run all over the fucking Jets this week. I'm so excited to watch him run on the Jets.
The Jets should go try out for the NCAA.
Yeah, really. They should see if they can make it in the SEC.
So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully Colts make the playoffs. That's really the main goal at the end of the day. So as long as we get a record good enough to get to the playoffs, I'm happy. And we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll do an update episode later in the year, and we'll talk to you. See where we're at.
It was the Cardinals. The Cardinals beat the shit out of them, 38-13.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cardinals are really good.
Yeah. So
that fucking Seahawks game was so close, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck, we were leading the whole game. We were up 24-9 going into the 4th, and then we gave up fucking they went on like a 21-6 run. Yeah, we missed a fucking point after attempt or some bullshit like that.
Field goal too.
Yeah, and we missed a Jason Myers field goal.
Yeah.
The most consistent kicker in the league prior to this. Literally, he had made 37 consecutive field goals.
That's how it goes.
Then he shanks this one wide left. We end up losing in OT. I was on vacation when that shit happened. I was in the hotel, and everyone was like, come have fun. Everyone was in the pool, and I'm like sitting poolside with my phone like, miss it. And the Titans kick is good. They've won the game. And I'm like, fuck, ruined my whole night. I have to get better about that. I'm like really guilty of letting a football game ruin my entire day. Like, dude,
I think a lot of people are, man. It's how it is, dude.
But it's
you
so
know how
stupid.
fucking depressed I am right now that we're 0-3.
I know.
And then everyone's talking shit. They're all like,
I know.
"Oh, the Colts."
See,
they say they know I'm a Colts fan. They're like, "Colts?
Dude,
they're the worst team in the NFL." I'm like,
family
"God damn
calls
it!"
Me. My uncles call me.
Yeah.
The second a Seahawks game hits 000 and the Seahawks lose,
Yeah.
I get text messages from my uncles. What's up with your boys? And it's like, what the fuck? I don't do this to y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all's Giants are 0 because they're all from New York. All of them are
yeah.
Giants fans.
Yeah.
Like y'all's Giants are 0-3. You don't hear me calling you after the Giants game. Last season, the Giants upset the Seahawks. It was like some weird game. The score was like 15-8 8, some weird score that like shouldn't exist, and the Giants won, and my phone blew up. I have voicemails, like people just like, they're like 3-12 team managed to beat my fucking 10-4 team, and they're like losing their fucking mind.
Yeah.
So I just think it's so funny. Like when you are a like prolific fan of a team and everyone knows it, you have to deal with the fucking shit.
I mean,
That comes
it comes with it, dude. It's part of being a fan, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I remember not too long ago, fucking Aaron changed my wallpaper to my office computer wallpaper to the interception at Super Bowl 49 when the Patriots fucking robbed us of our second Super Bowl. So I mean, it comes with the territory if you're a big fan.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this is like a really fun season to be a football fan. I'm enjoying the season a lot. There's a lot of great stuff happening. Fantasy has been crazy. I'm really enjoying being in fantasy this year. I'm pretty much just playing for fun, except our league, I know we play for a little bit of money to make it interesting. Play for $20 just amongst friends. Your fantasy team in our league, our office league, is doing exceptionally well.
Yeah, 3-0, baby.
So we're playing in a really high-scoring league because we're doing 2 quarterbacks and PPR.
Superflex. It's called Superflex.
So, I mean, it's not out of the norm to see someone score like 180 points, 200 points, whatever. You had a week where you scored 220, which I think might be the highest fantasy score I've ever seen with my own eyes. 220.
Yeah, team went off.
Yeah, you went off. I mean, you're regularly scoring north of 170, which is it's pretty hard to beat. I lost to you last week, and I think, I'm 1-2, but I'm never having a bad week. I just seem to like when I lose, I happen to play someone when their team goes off.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. So especially when it's early, I mean, if you can look at on your, if anyone who's playing fantasy, if you just go to like your standings or whatever, you can see like the points against or points for.
Yeah.
And that's a real telling sign. Like,
sure.
Like if your team is doing actually good, or is it just because you're playing weaker opponents or whatever, you know what I mean? And then so I can tell you, it's like you can really start to see, okay, I may have a bad record, but my team's still scoring a good amount of points. I should be good going forward. And it's a good way to tell, like, generally, because especially early on, if you're 0-2, 0-3, I wouldn't panic at all, especially if you feel like your team's okay,
Yeah.
And, matchups are everything with that, so.
Definitely.
So how do you feel about a Superflex? How do you like having an extra QB?
I like it because...
So we have one extra QB and one extra wide receiver spot.
Yeah.
Normally you would have an extra flex spot, but I just made it a wide receiver because I feel like the wide receiver position is just so deep.
So I like it because we're in a really small league. We're just 8 teams. And if we didn't have, the super flex, every team would be just like this fucking unbeatable super team.
Yeah,
so,
just stacked. Yeah.
Like the wide receiver position, especially in today's NFL, is so deep. It's really nice to be able to dig deeper into that position. And then also the quarterback thing is interesting because everyone is going to have an elite QB on their roster. Like everyone is going to have at least one elite QB. But then you throw this second QB in the mix, and it can really be determined by whose second QB just has a good week. Whose second QB has a good matchup and ends up going off for 3 or 4 touchdowns. I happen to be lucky because I really prioritized the QB position. I managed to get Josh Allen and Russell Wilson. It's very rare that the two of them are both going to have a bad week, so I'm usually okay at QB. And then my first pick, I used on Derrick Henry. Who was your first pick?
Probably Aaron Jones. Yeah, probably Aaron Jones. Because I was eighth, so I went Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler.
And in a PPR league, bro, solid pick.
Yeah, so I went back-to-back. Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones were my...
Because both of them are pretty good catching running backs.
That's how they make their money.
Yeah. So the strategy that I used when we drafted is called like hero running back or RB0, which is where you just use your first pick to get your elite running back. Then you abandon the position, let him just carry at that position, and you just go after QBs and high-profile wide receivers. So far, it's working out for me. In my high school league that I'm in with like buddies that I went to high school with, I'm 3-0. I have the most points for in the league. I also have Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
The only league where I don't have Derrick Henry was Ali's league, and the majority of my team, except for maybe like 1 or 2 players, was just the result of auto draft.
Yeah.
It auto drafted Saquon for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm making it work.
Yeah, he had a good week last week though.
Yeah, I think I'm 1-2 in that league as well. But I I think I'm pretty convincingly projected to win this week. But yeah, fantasy's been great. I've only played it for like 3 or 4 years. I didn't want to get into fantasy football. I was like, it's going to take away from, my enjoyment of the game. I was worried, like, what if I have a guy that's going against the Seahawks? Am I ever going to, like, feel inclined to cheer against my own team? Is it going to ruin my ability to enjoy my team winning? It really hasn't so far, because my mindset is I enjoy fantasy, but I really don't care that much about it at the end of the day. If I get blown out because somebody goes off on the Seahawks, or because, as long as the Seahawks win at the end of the day, the teams I care about in real life, I'm happy. If my fantasy team loses, it sucks. I don't like losing in fantasy because it feels like someone out-schemed me. I don't like feeling intellectually.
You don't like washing those dishes either.
Yeah,
huh?
I don't. Yeah, Adam and I always make bets. Last year, I beat Adam and made him take an ice bath. This year, Adam beat me, and he makes me clean this fucking... What do you call it? Overnight oats? What is this shit that you make
No,
up
it's
here?
just oatmeal.
All right, but it's
just
it's
oatmeal.
more than oatmeal.
No, it's not.
You have
It's just
all this
oatmeal.
shit in there. I hear you back there mixing shit up. Adam puts all this fruit and fucking brown sugar and cinnamon and flaxseed and all this fuck shit in there. And then, like, I was really confident in my team, so I was like, all right, Adam, if I beat you, you clean my coffee mug because I like to drink coffee at work. And I was like, if you beat me, I'll clean.
Yeah,
oh,
I was
no.
like, I don't drink coffee, so what can you clean? I was
I'll
like,
clean your fucking
the
oatmeal. So I just
Yeah.
said it because I didn't think I would lose, and also I guess I underestimated how much this motherfucker eats oatmeal. Bro, this Pyrex is destroyed after you eat this oatmeal. It has like blue
I fill it up to
blueberry
the
stains.
max.
Yeah, I don't. How much? What is it, like 4 cups of Pyrex, or how many cups are in
I
one of
don't
those?
know.
You eat like 6 cups of oatmeal.
Well, no, it's one packet of oatmeal, but I add so much in
Bro,
it, it
but
makes
you
it
add
bigger.
fucking banana, flaxseed, blueberries, spirulina, like all this bullshit, and you just build this thing up to the top. And we have this little crappy office sink. It's very tiny, and so I'm in there like scrubbing this stupid Pyrex. I'm so glad.
You've
the
only had to
week is
clean it
almost over.
once though, so
No,
we got to
twice.
make up
No,
for
I've
it.
done it twice. It's
You've
sitting
done it
there
twice
clean
now?
right now.
Oh, okay, good.
I washed it
All
yesterday.
right, good.
You weren't
Just
here.
making sure.
All right, chill.
But so with fantasy, all right, tell me this because this has been my experience. Like it has only enhanced my enjoyment to watch football because now I'm like I have guys to root for.
It makes
I can
games
watch
that
random
you would
teams.
never care about
Yeah.
way more because there's so many NFL games.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about Jags versus Bengals.
No,
but
I don't
had-
either. I didn't
had
watch
2
it.
guys going last night,
Right.
so I was like, let's see what's going on. I
Yeah.
had Boyd and I had fucking Jones Jr. on the
Yeah.
Jags, and I
Yeah.
was like, all right, let's see what these guys can do, and I'll be watching Red Zone. And I'll watch some big play that I would normally get excited about. But, sometimes I'll see Darren Waller score, and I'm like, that's my fucking tight end. Let's go,
Yeah, yeah.
So it's cool. It's really cool. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'll ever play fantasy for another sport. I really don't see myself playing fantasy basketball just because it's way more intensive.
Yeah, I just opted out to not play in this league I was in before.
There's too many games.
It's a lot. But here's the reason why I didn't do it. I did it the last 2 years because I wasn't playing fantasy football at the time. I think we
Right.
took a break. And so I was like, oh, here's something to do, something interesting. I've never done it before. It's a whole nother world, dude.
Yeah.
You think fantasy football can get like a lot to keep track of your players or know who to draft or whatever?
Yeah.
Fantasy football or basketball is a whole different story because of, there's different modes. So there's category play, which is like there's like 7 categories: points, rebounds, assists. You have a field goal percentage and free throw percentage, and all these categories. So you play. So you're not playing to see who gets the most points. There is
Right.
point to point, head to head
Right.
in basketball, but there's also
It's those
category to
categories.
category. And so that's what I was playing, and
that makes it way
that adds a
more-
whole nother level because you're playing against categories. So it doesn't matter if your team outscores them, has better games. It doesn't matter if the other team because they only have to win 4 positions or 4 categories to win. So if they win rebounds, if they win field goal percentage, free throw percentage, and assists, they win. I could have won points. I could have won all these other things. Doesn't matter.
Scheme so much harder to build a team.
So you have to build a team who has like categorically
well-rounded guys that can dominate in multiple categories. Yeah.
Yeah, or you can build a team like all big men and make sure you win
You're winning
rebounds and winning field goal percentage. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then the rest, so it's like it adds a whole nother element. It's It's very much more tactical and calculated, and you got to be on your shit. And then we do an auction draft. Which we did was an auction draft, which was you get a set amount of like play money at the beginning of the draft.
And certain players are worth like.
And you bid on players.
Oh,
so
shit.
so it can start the bidding off. All right, Giannis is going for $50, and then people bid. All right, 51, 52, 53,
like
and but it's actually really exciting, and it made because here's the thing with the snake draft, the first player you get to pick, that's who it is. No one else has an option to get Christian McCaffrey, and you know what I mean. The first player or second player is going to get him.
Everyone has a shot at everybody.
Everyone has a shot at everybody. But then it alters the way you're going to draft the rest of your team. If you want to go for a big shot guy, spend half of your money on one guy and then try to get mid-range guys. Or you cannot. Like what I did was I let everyone bid all their money on all the big names, and I just went for mid-player guys and try to build a team full of just like solid mid-range guys. And that's how I built it. I ended up getting like 7th place out of 12. Not too bad, but still it's like there's ways to do it. It makes it really interesting. It was really fun, but I'm going to take a break on it this year just because it's a lot to do, and I don't want to be looking at my phone every freaking day. And I'm trying to take a break from social as much. So
there's NBA games every day. Shit, I can only imagine baseball. Baseball is like literally every day.
I couldn't do baseball.
A bunch of games. So couldn't do fantasy baseball, but we are getting really close to playoff baseball. Mm-hmm. The Astros clinched last night their division. Go
nice.
Stros.
Hell yeah.
And I think the playoffs start in 3 days. They start on the 4th, I believe, is the first wild card game. Very excited. Hopefully the Astros can make some noise, maybe make a deep run. What a time to be like a Houston Astros baseball fan. I mean, the cheating thing sucked, but I mean, we are constantly a competitor. We're either going to the ALCS or the World Series. You know, like it's a good time to be a Astros fan.
Yeah, it really is.
But I don't even want to get into baseball that so much. I want to stick with football. I want to look at these power rankings.
Yeah, let's do the power rankings, dude. Let's do it.
And do you want to give our own top 5 first and then look at what NFL.com has? Or you want to just look at what they say and then just agree or disagree?
Let's look at what they say real quick because honestly, I couldn't even probably tell you my top 5 at the moment.
All right. So the number 1 team in the NFL, this is all according to NFL.com. I really don't like the ESPN power rankings because I feel like it's just written by ESPN people, and I feel like sometimes they're fucking crazy and they just say shit to get hot takes and reactions.
Yeah.
So this is the NFL.com website. Still journalists, but maybe less hype biased. Here's the LA Rams at number 1. They're saying the marriage of Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford is a beautiful thing, and they moved up 3 spots from number 4. I think this is a fair ranking. Number 1 for the LA Rams. Yep. They definitely seem like the team that is most comfortable winning. They seem like they are extremely dominant on defense, pretty dominant on offense. They're going to be good for the entire season, probably.
They have the best player. They have the best defensive lineman in the NFL. They have probably one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL.
Sure.
They have probably the best schemed offense, you could probably say. Yeah. As far as just the way they run their offense is probably the best. Mm-hmm. I think. Sean McVay is definitely an offensive genius.
He really
you could say that, right? I mean, he brought the Rams to the Super Bowl purely based on the scheme of the offense, right? It wasn't like they had the best players or anything like that. They just
then they got in the Super Bowl and it was the worst offensive Super Bowl
sucked,
of all time.
but still, you can't take anything away from
right. Sure.
that.
I mean, a Super Bowl run is a Super Bowl run,
right?
Right.
And
no matter how you get there.
And now you add this super high level quarterback he can make every throw on the field. Yeah. And they look great. The only weakness I say they have right now is their running back position. If those guys can stay healthy, I think Henderson is their starter, and I think he got kind of banged up a couple weeks ago. So we'll see if they can stay healthy. It's not bad running back at their positions aren't bad. It's just they're mediocre. So we'll see if they can because the only thing I'm concerned about with their offense is if their run game gets shut down and they have to rely on throwing the whole game, there could be problems. Sure. You know what I mean? Because if you throw the ball the whole game, we can see obviously with the Chiefs and other teams, if you have to rely on that, problems can happen because just throwing the ball is just you have a higher % to have a turnover. It's just is what it is. So we'll see if they can continue that. I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. It's one of my Super Bowl picks this year. So I said at the beginning of the year I really liked them coming in.
The NFC is going to be tough, but I could see it. I could see it. They're going to have even though they're that good, their road is still going to be hard. They're still in the same division as the Seahawks, which means they have to play the Cardinals and they have to play the 49ers twice. And I think the Seahawks can get better over the year to where they're a challenge for the Rams too. So
Yeah.
We'll see. I think it'll be exciting to watch them. So that's the number 1 pick. Number 2, down 1 spot from number 1, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they should have fallen more than 1 spot after how hard they got their asses whipped.
Well, and also against the Cowboys. That game, the game 1 against the Cowboys.
Bro, that game, you can argue that the Cowboys should have won that game. That, there should have been an offensive pass interference call, and the Bucs should not have been able to go down there and score and win the game. I think the Buccaneers could easily be 1-2 right now.
Oh,
and
for
not
sure.
2-1.
Well, I mean, they got exposed. Their secondary has been getting exposed, man, like bad.
Yeah.
They're just getting thrown all over the field. Like it just looks like they're not even on the field sometimes. They're just thrown over the top of them like it's nothing. So that's their biggest hurdle. Obviously, their offense is fine. They got tons of weapons.
Right.
Their offense will be fine. It's their defense is the biggest question mark for them right now.
So I disagree with this, them being number 2.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely still a good team, and they're still going to, make a playoff run. They're absolutely going to win their division.
I think they're purely there right now because they're Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're the Super Bowl champs, and their quarterback is this little guy that a few people have heard of named Tom Brady.
Yeah.
They should maybe be like power rank number 5. I don't think they should be number 2. I mean, they definitely are a top 5 team, but definitely should be lower.
I mean, it says right there they've allowed 300+ passing yards.
Yeah. I mean,
so,
bro, the Cowboys. The Cowboys' offense did a number on them, so they definitely shouldn't be 2. I would say closer to number 5. Number 3 is the team that I think should be number 2, up 3 spaces from number 6 last week. It is the Aaron Rodgers-led Green Bay Packers. They look great, man. I think we could see them in the Rams in the NFC Championship.
Did you see the video? Have you seen the interview Aaron Rodgers had after that game 2 or whatever?
I think people want to talk a lot of bullshit. Yeah. Dude. I mean,
Bro, it was
but
so funny.
The question that the interviewer asked him
Yeah.
was not a crazy question. Aaron Rodgers looked like he didn't care in week 1.
Yeah.
Like he was like, Aaron, the question was like, Aaron, what do you say to the people that said, you looked uninterested or like you didn't care in your week 1 defeat, like you looked like you weren't invested. And this was a question he was asking after they looked dominant in week 2. And Aaron Rodgers like gave this, he was already like answering, and like the guy said something, and then he was like, I'm not done. And then he like paused and he was like, all right, go ahead, finish your question. And then dude finishes his question and he's like, I think people want to come up with a lot of bullshit. And he just like went off and answered his question really passive aggressively. Aaron Rodgers looked like he didn't care in week 1, and I thought he didn't. I thought, I was like, are we about to see Aaron Rodgers suck
You got caught up in the hype?
No, I mean,
come on, you're not going to suck on
he
purpose.
spent the entire offseason saying he was not going to play for the Packers. He was like not talking to the team. He was
good reason.
Chugging Miller Lights in the back of a pickup truck just driving around Wisconsin. He wanted out of there really badly.
Yeah, I mean, he still does, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron Rodgers kind of has a certain mentality. Like, he's not Mr. like, golden boy quarterback. He's kind of a dick. He like doesn't even talk to his family. Like he's kind of an asshole.
Wait. Hold on. Before we go down calling him a dick, saying he's this and that.
I love him. I love Aaron Rodgers, but he is kind of a dick.
I mean, come on. You don't know the guy. I mean, all you know is what you see through the media. And like, have you seen a lot of his interviews with Pat McAfee?
No, I don't watch. I don't
okay,
really
so
watch
there you
the
go.
Pat
Like,
McAfee.
all right, watch his interviews on Pat McAfee.
Stop talking about Pat McAfee.
No. I'm serious. No, I'm just being like genuinely telling you. If you want to know more, like about like who he is, if you're genuinely gonna call him a dick, like, and just say,
I'm not like.
Look, all I'm saying is,
I'm not saying he's a dick. He's a bad person. I'm just saying.
You said he doesn't talk to his family.
The way he talked to that reporter, he was a dick. Like you can have dickish tendencies and still be a great guy. I love Aaron Rodgers. I love him. When he was hosting Jeopardy, I was like, I wish there was a way he could be the full-time host of Jeopardy.
Yeah.
He's so good. Whenever he's on SNL or he does comedic things, I think he's fucking hilarious. I love that he was in that Key and Peele names. Like, he's hilarious. I think he's a funny guy. I think he's just a good human.
All right,
I love that he's with Shailene Woodley. I love that couple. I just love who he is as a person. However, he says some asshole things sometimes. I think it's hilarious. There's nothing wrong with it. He just does some dickish stuff sometimes.
But what did he do at the end of that comment that he said? He winked, right? He winked. So like, that's giving you the like, look, I'm just fucking around. Like, don't take what I'm doing serious. Like, don't just because I did that or said this, don't take it serious. Like, I'm just messing. Like, you can tell he's just messing around with the media. He's just like pulling people's strings. You know what I mean? He's not genuinely serious. Like, don't interrupt me. He wasn't like being like a Popovich or somebody like. He's dead serious about everything he's saying.
He meant it when he said I wasn't done.
He probably meant it, but not in a way that like I'm genuinely trying to be rude to you. I'm just like it looked like more like he was just having fun with that room and like what he was doing, because like for him it's like you can tell he's not a super serious guy. He likes to play, have fun, joke around. Like you could tell, obviously you said he's on Jeopardy. Does like. He's not a guy. And then, okay, here's what I was going back to Pat McAfee.
He's moderately serious. I think.
Going back to Pat McAfee, listen to the interviews because when he goes on there, he's being openly himself. Like, he's not pressured to say the right thing, to be PC. He's genuinely just being himself. Like he's talking to a friend, like on the phone. Like, that's just how he is. So listen to some of those interviews and it'll give you a better idea of like kind of who he is. Sure. So that's why. And because the media loves to portray images of people and we like to take it and we like to run with it. I'm not saying that's what you do. I'm just saying in general the public does this where the media will paint a picture of somebody and you'll fall into that trap and then that's what you think about this person or that person. Even if it's not 100% what you think, you're at least being, what do you say, like just like conditioned to think a certain way because you're seeing something. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. Anyways,
all
that's
I'm
what I have
saying
to
is
say about Aaron
sometimes
Rodgers.
he can do some things that are like, he just has dickish tendencies sometimes. I mean, you can be fucking amazing and hilarious. I probably do some dickish shit sometimes, and I like to think I'm a relatively non-serious guy. But whatever.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, I love him. Probably the most talented quarterback who's ever lived. I got to see him in person at Lambeau. It was one of the best football experiences of my life. I love him to death. He is quarterbacking what I believe to be the number 2 team in the NFL.
And I would agree with that. I think at this moment they should be number 2, and I think they're the second best contenders to the Rams as far as the Super Bowl to me.
As much as it hurts me to say the Seahawks won't be there, I think Packers-Rams will be the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
And you could argue that the team that wins that will probably win. I don't know. It's so early. I don't want to say that yet. But
yeah.
But they look great. And
all right, moving to 3.
Or
to 4 now, sorry.
4. Up one spot from last week at number 4 is the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
Josh Allen is my fantasy quarterback. He looks great. They fucking dominated the fucking... Who did they play last week? Whoever they played, they beat them 43-21.
Who did they play? Wait, does it not say right there?
The Bills have it cooking, and Josh Allen picked apart Washington. Washington football team is supposed to have a decent defense. They got like -10 fantasy points last week because the Bills just went off on them.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is great. It took them a little bit to find their stride. They had a really bad week 1. It was a really weird game. It was like
the Steelers?
That Steelers game.
Yeah. It
was really low scoring to start the game, and then like the Bills just couldn't score. I don't know what it was. But the Bills look good now. I definitely think, they are. I would say number 4 is a fitting place for them.
Yeah, well, without a doubt, they're a top 5 team. And the way they've built this team over time, like watching them go from like young Josh Allen to like their team was just kind of like mediocre. And then the pieces they've added to that defense and the weapons they have, I mean, they look solid. I mean, Emmanuel Sanders looks great. Cole Beasley's an awesome slot receiver to have on your squad. I mean, obviously, Stephon Diggs is arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
And their team is just stacked, dude. So it's been really fun to watch this team build and grow. Because early on, like when they were playing against Tom Brady in that division, I was like, dude, watch out for this guy, Josh Allen, man. Because when they would battle, he looked like hungry. You know what I mean? Like early on when he came into the NFL, he was looking hungry. And I was like, I see a lot of potential in this dude. And I was like, dude, they're gonna lead this division whenever the Patriots finally fall, and it's finally happened. It's really fun to see like this team grow over time.
Bro, they've definitely got their division in the bag this year.
Yeah.
Jets are trash. Dolphins are nothing to worry about. Pats are nothing to worry about this year. They are going to win that division. They could make a decent run at the Super Bowl. I swear to God, do you know how much I would love a Buffalo Bills Super Bowl run? I would love to see them represent the AFC.
Awesome.
They have the most fun fan base in the league.
Yeah.
Bills Mafia is unrivaled. I watched a Bills Mafia gender reveal yesterday.
Oh, God.
This dude climbed a ladder. He had like blue and pink balloons underneath a table. He jumped on the fucking table, and then like blue powder just fucking Bills Mafia gender reveal.
It's pretty funny.
So I mean, they are great. Watching them like shirtlessly dive through tables when it's -10 outside.
Let me ask you this: where do you rank Josh Allen among QBs in the NFL today?
Top 8, very close to top 5. The only people I have him behind would be Rodgers, Mahomes, Brady, Russ. I think he's better than Lamar Jackson. 5?
It's pretty big, yeah.
I think I have him 5 behind Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes, Wilson, and then Josh Allen. Yeah,
Okay.
He's my number 5 quarterback in the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is great. He's still young. He has a really good team that he's at the helm of. Dude, we're going to be talking about Josh Allen for a long time.
Yeah,
And I
for
love
sure.
to watch him play. He is exciting to watch.
Yeah.
He's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he's a super talent, dude.
Number 5 on the
Yeah.
rankings. Number 1 in your heart, Josh Allen. Moving on to number 5, the Baltimore Ravens, who could very well be 1-2 if Justin Tucker didn't have a leg of fucking steel. They almost lost to the Detroit
and that
Lions.
fucking that they didn't call the clock went out. At least on the TV, their clock ran out, and it should have been a penalty on the Ravens. They shouldn't even had a chance to kick that field goal.
I feel like that happens a lot, and that could just be an issue of like the TV not being synced properly to the game
I don't
clock.
know,
but
it was
regardless,
sketchy. And Detroit fans went off. They were so pissed.
I mean, the fact that they won on a 66-yard field goal. I mean, that 63-yard record has stood for decades.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that it got broken. I always thought that when someone broke the record, it'd be like 64, 66,
or 63 and a half.
Fuck, that is crazy. So
Yeah.
I really,
All right, how do you like the spot? How do you like them at number 5?
I don't think they should be there.
I don't think they should be there either.
I don't think they're a top 5 team in the NFL.
Yeah, I will say coming into the season, I had them as possible Super Bowl candidates.
I mean, yeah.
But then their running back room got decimated, dude. They lost every running back they had. Now they're signing guys, veterans, and so that's the only biggest concern with them. Lamar Jackson's going to be Lamar Jackson. He's going to ball out every week. I just don't think they have enough at this moment. So
I think that number 5 ranking is going to fall as we watch the season go.
I mean, they should not. You should not be struggling to beat Detroit.
No,
No.
not at all. If you're the 5th best team in the league, you should whip their ass.
Yeah.
Or maybe Detroit's better than we're giving them
which
credit
I do.
for.
Which I do think Detroit is dramatically better than what they were.
And then the week
past year or
before,
two.
watching them almost come back on the 49ers when they were down like 30 and they started to close the
Yeah.
gap. The Lions have potential, but the Ravens definitely should have looked more convincing against them. Number 5 is not right for them. Maybe they should be closer to like number 8.
Yeah.
They are still a top 10 team, just don't think they're number 5. Number 6.
Which Kansas City should have that number 5 spot.
Yeah, Kansas City, I would say, is the 5th best team in the league. But they're 6 here. They fell 4 places from number 2 last week, and I definitely think they deserve to drop after getting, beat and now being 1 and 2.
1 and 2 doesn't represent how good the Chiefs are. I don't think the ranking ranking says much, or I don't think that record says much about them, because I think they'll still finish with maybe 5 losses at the most.
I think it says less about the Chiefs, and I think it says more about the Chargers. I think the Chargers are a pretty good football team.
Agreed. And Justin Herbert.
Yeah. I mean, the Chiefs still have Patrick Mahomes, and even though he looked a little rough with 2 interceptions last week, he's still arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. I think the Chiefs are going to rebound. They're definitely going to be fine. They'll probably go to the AFC Championship.
The thing that's happened with them the past 2 games is that teams have schemed out Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
They've really they've had virtually the same offense for the past 3 years now, and so I think people are starting to figure it out. They're like, all right, either we take away Tyreek or we take Travis Kelce away.
Yeah.
And I think the teams that have the last 2 weeks have taken out Tyreek Hill. That's your big play option. That's your big guns, and they take that away because I think it's smart to take away Tyreek Hill over Travis Kelce because Travis Kelce isn't going to race you down the field for a touchdown.
Right.
If Tyreek Hill gets the ball, he makes one step, that's a touchdown. So take him out of the game. Let them push the ball down the field a little bit with Travis Kelce, get some 20-yard plays. I mean, yeah, they're still going to push the ball without a doubt. But if you're not getting the big touchdown plays,
Right.
they're going to have to score in the red zone. It's much harder to do.
For sure.
The field shrinks. So I think it's smart the way the teams are playing him right now. So we'll see if they can scheme against it. I trust Andy Reid, though. I think he's an awesome coach. A lot of people don't like him, but I like him.
No, I mean, he's a great coach. He's always been one of the great ones. He put all the bullshit talk to bed when he won that Super Bowl 2 years ago. People were like,
Yeah.
Andy Reid's great, but he'll never win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
He did, and now I think everyone can just sit back and enjoy the mastermind that is Andy Reid. So we'll see what happens to the Chiefs. I
Yeah.
think they're a top 5 team, probably the number 5 team, and we're definitely going to see them make a deep playoff run, so that'll be exciting. All right, number 7, this team right here, the San Francisco 49ers, I think this should be the Cardinals spot. I think they should be here, or if not here, at least above the 49ers. I think
Yeah, at the moment, I agree.
Yeah, I
for
think
sure.
the Cardinals are the second best team in the Seahawks division, just behind the Rams.
Isn't that crazy that freaking division's got already 3 teams in the top 10?
Yeah, I know. It's fucking crazy.
It is crazy.
Well, I don't know. We haven't seen the Cardinals yet. Who knows?
Yeah,
where
I'm
they
sure they'll
ranked
be
them.
top 10.
They're probably going to be the next team on this list.
So how do you feel about the 49ers? How do you feel about Jimmy Garoppolo? Do you think he'll start the whole year?
I mean, with the way they're playing now, I think he will. If you asked me during the preseason, I didn't think they were going to start him. I was like,
Yeah.
they're
A lot of
going to
people
let
didn't.
Lance get out there
Yeah.
and see what he does. Because I'm not a big Garoppolo guy. I understand he's fucking beautiful. I understand
Got
that
a
like
Jordan deal.
he's he has the face of like an angel, whatever. But I just thought that he was like a regular quarterback, really great game manager. Definitely not elite, maybe better than average, but nothing too terribly special.
Yeah.
He's definitely not like. I mean, he's been to a Super Bowl, but I would never call him like a Super Bowl quarterback.
I mean,
You know
he's
what
a systems quarterback. That's what he
Yeah,
is, and he's
he
good
is.
at it. He's
He'll
really
get
good
in.
at it.
He's not going to make stupid mistakes, but he's also
Yeah.
not going to make amazing plays.
Yeah.
He is a great system quarterback.
Yeah, and being on the 49ers, which obviously, I mean, their coaching is amazing.
Yeah.
And if you watch their offense, it's so calculated. Every play they do, they have a great offense, man. You
Yeah.
can tell. And it's not like they have super special players everywhere. Their offense is just so well run that they're just every throw that he does make, it's gonna be a throw that is probably like 80% catchable.
Yeah.
Just because of how open the guy is and where you just have to place the ball. You don't have to make anything a crazy throw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, Kyle Shanahan, amazing.
Yeah.
They just have amazing coaching.
Yeah.
So
And the defense is great.
Yeah, the 49ers are great. They're 7 here. They were 7 last week. I think they probably deserve to be 8, and the Cardinals should be in that 7 spot because I think the Cardinals are better. But
I do too.
we got them this week. Seahawks and Niners. We play at 3:30
Yeah, y'all
in
should
the
beat 'em.
evening.
Y'all should beat them.
I hope so. Hopefully, we're playing in Seattle. I don't know where they're playing. Usually, if we play the Niners in Seattle, we do okay. So we'll see.
All right, we'll be looking at number 8.
Oh, not
Cleveland
not the
Browns.
Cardinals, but the Cleveland Browns. I think the Browns are good. Maybe not 8, maybe number 9 or number 10, but they're definitely a top 10 team.
I'm a little suspect with this one, only because I don't think they've played anyone. I mean, they played the Texans, they played the Bears, who looked awful. The Bears looked so bad that last week.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about this one. I want to see midway season. Give me 5 more games with the Browns, and I could tell you. That's
Yeah.
what I would say.
I mean, right now, though, I like them. I mean, their defense looks great. No matter how bad the Bears looked, they fucked Justin Fields up. Like,
Yeah.
they made the Bears O-line just, fall apart.
I will say they did almost beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So, but the Chiefs have gotten off to a really slow start. So I don't know. They're up in the air
Yeah,
for me
the
right
Browns are a team that are kind of a mystery, but they're
Yeah.
also a team that I really can't wait to watch. That's
Yeah.
another great division, man.
Oh, it is,
That,
yeah, it's awesome.
So
now. I like Baker Mayfield. I think he'll end up being a great quarterback in the long run, and so we'll see where this team goes. They have a great defense.
yeah, I mean
We'll see.
they have freaking 3 teams in the top 10 right now with the Chiefs, the Browns, and the Ravens. Let's see where the Bengals are on this list. I'm curious.
Nick Chubb is awesome too.
Chubb
though. I
is
love Nick
awesome.
Chubb.
Wish I had him on my fantasy team. So the
Chubb
Browns are at
wagon.
number 8. I could see them being more like a 9 or 10, but good for them being in the top 10. I'm not too mad at it. They were there last week, so apparently NFL.com has a lot of faith in the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Let's continue with
The
number
Raiders.
9, the 3-0
Cardinals
Las
aren't top 10.
Vegas Raiders. That is disrespectful. That's really all right. So,
whoa. Okay, hold on, dude. The Raiders just battled it out with the Dolphins in
the
overtime.
Jacoby Brissett-led Dolphins.
Come on, man.
Yeah, the Raiders. The Raiders are good.
It's only because they're 3-0. That's the only reason why they're here. Is because they're 3-0.
I mean, the Cardinals are 3-0.
But
they should be here.
But I'm saying that's the only reason why they're there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, this is a bad ranking. This is.
Yeah, I don't agree with this one.
The Raiders are like an 11 or 12.
I think they're top 15. They might be 15.
Yeah. I think they might be better. Yeah, they might be.
I put them 15, but not 9.
I mean, it's hard to put a 3-0 team at 15.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is purely based on the fact that they're 3-0.
I maybe
as
have
the season
them
goes on
at like 12, maybe 11, but not 9.
No.
Not 9 is high.
Who has been their opponents? I know they played the Dolphins last week.
Yeah.
Who else did they play? I don't even remember who they played.
They had a primetime game against. Fuck! I just remember them playing primetime football. Let's look at the.
Let's look at who they played, because maybe we're disrespecting them. I don't want to disrespect the squad, but I mean, I like Derek Carr. I think he's a great quarterback. I like their coaching. I don't think their defense is all that great.
So they beat the Dolphins. Before that, they beat the Steelers.
Okay,
before that, they in overtime beat the Ravens.
Okay, that's
a good win.
That's a good win. But again, Ravens are banged up. Yeah, Ravens are a good team. I mean, but it's week 1 win, so I don't know. Yeah.
All right, so
it's a good win.
We'll see. We'll see what happens to them. I mean, they play in this badass fucking stadium.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But without a doubt, I can say the Raiders have gotten a lot better over the past 2-3 years. You can see they've progressed each year.
Sure.
And this year, I think Derek Carr... I mean, last year I thought Derek Carr was going to have a great year. I mean, which he had okay. It wasn't bad at all by any means. But this year, I think he's really stepped up his game. I mean, the throws he's making are awesome. He's launching the ball down the field. He's got great targets with Darren Waller.
And I think that's a testament to how good of a coach John Gruden is. Because everyone knows John Gruden is a quarterback's guy.
And he loves Derek Carr.
Loves Derek Carr. And, back when they did, like, Gruden's QB camp, he loves talking to QBs. He loves working with them.
Yeah.
And when he first took over for the Raiders, they had, like, a really bad first season under Gruden. And I was like, please don't fire him. Please give him one more chance.
Yeah.
And then he had, like, another year. And I was like, please don't fire him. This is, I'm pretty sure it's his third year as the Raiders head coach.
It is.
And now we're seeing Gruden is a good coach.
Yeah, the fruits finally come into fruition.
Yeah, he's done a lot with this team. They have improved each year that he's been there. And now this is probably the best we've seen them look.
Yeah, so that's a pretty confident ranking there.
Yeah. Yeah. Why does Derek Carr always look like he's wearing eyeliner?
He has, like, dark black...
His eyelashes are black.
Yeah.
Fuck, they could, like, refine that shit down and make mascara just out of the coloring of his fucking eyelashes. He looks like a little emo boy every time he comes out there.
Yeah.
So, dude, he should grow his hair out and just, like, be emo QB boy. But anyway, all right.
I mean, it would go
Raiders.
great with the Raiders, yeah.
Yeah, not number 9 in my book, not top 10, maybe number 11 or 12.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Number 10, the fucking Chargers.
So here's what I would have: Chargers at 9, Cardinals at 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's where mine would be. But or actually,
wait, you said Chargers at 9, Cardinals at 10?
Sorry, Chargers at 10, Cardinals at 9.
I think Chargers at 10 is a great
Actually,
spot.
you know what? I would have Cardinals at 7, where the because I think Cardinals are better than all these teams we just passed.
Oh, that's
from
very
7.
true. Yeah, whatever I said about the Cardinals, whatever spot I said I thought they should be in, I said they should be in 7, right? Where the Niners were?
Yeah.
That's where they should be.
I agree with that.
The Cardinals are the 7th best team in the league.
I think so, too.
The Chargers, so they beat the Chiefs. They looked pretty good doing it, which made them jump up 4 spots, according to NFL.com. So they're number 10 now. Justin Herbert is amazing.
He's made that team.
Yeah.
He's literally won those games for them. Like, the throws he's making are elite level throws. Like, and I mean, obviously, Rookie of the Year last year, broke the touchdown record for most by a QB or for a rookie. And this dude is the real deal. I think he's really solidifying.
Yeah.
He's the real deal.
He's going to be good for a long time. The last sentence of this little paragraph here says, Justin Herbert is a savage in the pocket.
He
And-
really is, dude.
I mean, he is. He'll
Yeah,
pick you apart.
for sure.
He's great.
and he can get outside of the pocket.
Yeah. This is a good spot for them. They play in a tough division, being in there with the Raiders and the Chiefs. I think they could fuck around and make a run at winning that division this year. Depends on how the Chiefs'
very
rest
much.
of their season goes.
I mean, what they're 2-1 right now.
Yeah, so
who
they're
did they lose to? Who did they lose to? I know this. Was it the? I want to say the Ravens.
So,
Yeah, I think they lost to the Ravens.
they actually play the Chargers on Sunday. This is going to be a great game. It's the primetime game.
Nice.
Chargers Raiders, cannot wait.
Yeah.
So they lost to the Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys. That's what it was. Yeah. It was a close game.
Yeah.
But the Cowboys look good this year. So I think I think Cowboys will be top 15 as we get lower on this list. But they're a good team. They're a good team for sure. So I don't think that's a terrible loss for them. And it was only 3 points. But dude, the receiving core that Justin Herbert has to throw to,
Yeah.
man. That
Yeah.
guy, what's his name? Guyton.
Yeah.
Their third guy. He could be a number 1 receiver on another team. He's
Right.
big, tall, fast. And then obviously Mike Williams is just having a monster year so far.
Yeah.
Who's just he's a tight end basically running like a wide receiver. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then dude, I mean their receiving core is insane. So I really like that squad. And then Austin Eckler at their running back is awesome.
He's
Awesome
always
Eckler.
awesome. He always right. He's always great. So yeah, excited for the rest of the
Yeah.
Chargers year for sure. Speaking of, we just said we were just talking about the Raiders, then we talked about the Chargers, and we talked about the fact that they're playing each other. Did you hear what Derek Carr said
What?
about? So they're playing in L.A. They're playing the Chargers at home.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers will be the home team when they play each other on Sunday night. The Chargers are kind of infamous for having like the worst fan base in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of Chargers fans.
For sure.
If you live in LA, you're a Rams fan. They should have stayed in San Diego because they had a great fan base
Yeah.
there. Before the stadium was built, the fucking Rams were playing at the Coliseum and the Chargers were playing at a fucking MLS
Yeah.
tiny stadium,
Yeah.
and they, sometimes couldn't even fill that up. Derek Carr said, "The Chargers are a home game for us. There'll be more Raiders fans in the stands."
I'm sure there will.
But dude, just imagine that. Like,
Dude, no, okay. I believe that 100%
Yeah.
because even in Houston, Texas,
Yeah.
when the Raiders were in Oakland, dude, I
Yeah.
drove by NRG Stadium when it was NRG at the time.
bro.
Those Raiders fans were
Dude,
wilding out
and-
there,
and
dude.
they
I was like,
are-
what is happening
bro,
out
and
here?
They are mean.
It was
Like,
just black and silver everywhere. And I was like, where are
think-
the Texans fans?
Bro,
it was
it's-
insane.
It's Bills Mafia
Yeah.
and it's, Raiders Nation.
God
they,
dang,
they
man.
are,
They're wild.
bro, they are wild. They are one of the most dedicated fan bases. They'll curb stomp you in the parking lot. Like
So I'm sure a lot of the Oakland fans are still
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Las Vegas
oh, for
Raiders
sure.
now. Yeah,
And I
they don't
mean,
care.
Can't be that far of a fucking drive.
No.
And then LA is only a 3-hour drive from Las Vegas. And before they were, they were always in Oakland, but then for a while they were the LA Raiders.
Yeah.
And then that was like, bro, they were the team of fucking Ice Cube and like NWA and
Yeah,
like
for
when, West Coast hip hop was big,
Yeah.
the Raiders were in LA.
Oh, yeah.
And you had like NWA was at the fucking Raiders game. Like
Oh,
it was
yeah.
so I love that fan base.
But the Chargers being a better team, I think their fan base will build. Give them a couple
Yeah,
more years,
sure.
because everyone wants to root for a good team, and when this team
Yeah.
starts balling, and
the
Justin
thing is
Herbert
the
becomes
Rams
a name.
are a better team.
Right.
The thing is the
Right.
Rams are so good.
Yeah.
And LA is already not really a football city.
No, not at all.
LA is a basketball town, and more so than that, LA is the Lakers city. It
Yeah,
is
for sure. It
the
always will
sports
be.
team that owns, and LA loves the Dodgers. Like the Dodgers
Yeah,
are a historic
Dodgers,
baseball team
for sure.
But LA is a basketball town. LA is the Lakers property. But
Sorry,
yeah.
let's move on to the next
All
one.
right. Yeah, we
now
talked
we
about
got
the Chargers for a
Cardinals.
minute. All right, here are the Cardinals. This
Yeah.
team should be top 10. They should probably be number 7. They are 3-0, and they are convincingly 3-0. They beat the fuck out of the Titans.
All right, dude. Yeah.
Bro, they look good. I hate saying it because they play in the division with the Seahawks, but they look great. Kyler Murray is a short king, and He looks like a fucking Teddy Graham, but he is a beast out there.
Yeah, dude.
DeAndre Hopkins, is he playing this week?
I'm not sure, but I always thought Kyler Murray ran funny. Like I always thought like in the cartoons, whenever you see like the feet, they go so fast that it just turns into like circle wheels, or like how like the Roadrunner runs or something, like because he doesn't look like he takes big steps. He takes like really small steps, but really fast. Yeah. He's like he looks like he's just scampering, and he looks so weird, but he's so fast and quick. It's just insane.
The people he's running around
Yeah.
are like colossal human beings.
Right.
And here he is, 5'9".
It's so funny.
And he's not like a Russell Wilson 5'9" or 5'10", where he's like stacked. He's not a big dude
he's
by
not big.
any means.
No.
So he looks so small out there.
Yeah.
And when he's scampering, it's like, fuck, dude, he is tiny out there.
And when he gets out of the pocket, he's so dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so dangerous. And yeah, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins adds a whole nother element. They got A.J. Green, and they got a couple other receivers who look really good. So
yeah.
Their defense has looked up and down. I think they had one game where they had a bad game, but then they had another game where they just dominated. So I don't know. We'll see how they play out, because you can't rely all on Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray. He's not gonna. I mean, he can only do so much, obviously, as we see with other quarterbacks and other teams. So we'll see how they go.
Yeah, I mean, they won last week, and somehow NFL.com dropped them. It's really interesting when you see someone win but drop. I guess it was because they're considering their win not too special since it came over the Jags. They beat them 31-19. They had two receivers that had over 100 yards. Neither of them were DeAndre Hopkins, which is interesting. Really speaks to the well-roundedness of that offense. Number 12, another undefeated team that probably shouldn't be undefeated. They might be 3-0, but I don't think they're anything to worry about. It's the Denver Broncos. I will just say good on Teddy Bridgewater. I like that. So I've always liked Teddy Bridgewater ever since he was on the Vikings, and I felt like he never really had the chance to make that team his own. I think the Panthers didn't give him the fair shake that he deserved. I feel like he never got his time to shine on the Saints. It was like he was always under what the fuck is Taysom Hill. It was like, all right, they have, Teddy Bridgewater, but if Breeze goes down, they're going to give control to Taysom.
For sure.
I love that Teddy Bridgewater has a team that he can do whatever he wants with.
Yeah. I mean, he's a solid QB, dude.
Yeah, and I just like him because his first season with the Vikings, I was like, this guy has potential, but then he got hurt, and it was like, what's going to be the future of his career after getting hurt?
Yeah.
I don't think the Broncos are anything to worry about. They play in a wow. I just realized when I was talking about the Chiefs and the Chargers division, bro, it's the Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, and the 3-0 Broncos.
Right.
That is another great division.
Again, no, look, you're right. The Denver Broncos aren't anything to worry about. Look at the teams they beat: the Jets, the Jaguars. I don't know who the other team was, but they're not beating anyone worthwhile.
Well, that Week 1 win, I think, was special, right? Didn't they beat someone that was kind of impressive Week 1?
I mean, look, regardless, they're not going to be anything to worry about in the long run. I just don't see them making any moves and the getting close to the playoffs.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, okay, look.
Every team
Jags,
they've beat is 0-3. They beat the 0-3 Giants. They beat the 0-3 Jags.
This
then
team,
they beat the 0-3 Jets.
They haven't played one competitive game. So, yeah, you're right. They're not anything to worry about. Sure. Give them 5 more games, they'll probably be 3-5.
Yeah.
So that's just how it goes. But I'm not taking anything away from them.
I mean, 3-0 is 3-0.
They're definitely good. They definitely have a solid squad.
You can lose any given Sunday, so good for them. Good for Teddy Bridgewater. I just like seeing him run a team, and we'll see what they can do. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, up next. Sam Darnold was a mistake to get rid of for the Jets. Adam Gase is a fucking idiot, and the Carolina Panthers could have a good season.
Yeah.
They're in a division with the Bucs, the Falcons, and the Saints. Falcons and Saints, I don't really think need to be worried about too much. Obviously, it's the Bucs division to lose, but the Carolina Panthers are leading that division, and I think they could have a good season this year. Sam Darnold looks really good, Yeah,
and DJ Moore, who's their starting wide receiver, is definitely made a big step up this year, and he looks like he's going to be a dominant receiver for a long time.
He's great in fantasy. I love having him. And
I mean, he's just a big target to have, and I mean, I think Sam Darnold. Here's the thing, like you really start to notice with whenever a QB's on a bad team like the Jets, you can't make any logical assessment about a QB when they're on a shitty team because there's no room to make. You can't make great plays when you have a shit system around you. You have bad coaching, you have bad players.
Yeah.
Like, how can you judge anybody based on that? So it was really hard. And same thing with Zach Wilson, who's on the Jets right now. Like, everyone's like, oh, he doesn't look very good. Like, how can you look good when you're on a crappy team? You have highlight. But here's one thing I will say. Jalen Hurts, I don't know where they ranked on here, but being on the Eagles do not have a good team.
Yeah.
They have won a couple games, but they are not a good team at all. And
you put Jalen Hurts on like the Rams or some shit like that, and bro, I mean he's very talented.
He's super talented, but like the thing with the team, like Jalen Hurts stands out to me as somebody who's actually playing good football.
Yeah.
Even though he threw like a pick six the other night, wasn't really his fault. But he's playing really good football on a really bad team, and that's super rare to see.
Yeah.
Normally, if you can be the top level talent and be on a shitty team, it doesn't matter. You're gonna play bad. And so with Sam Darnold actually being on an okay, mediocre team now, you can start to see, okay, you can really start to judge him better for who he is. So yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll see what they can do. I'm excited to watch Sam Darnold lead that team. They're 3-0.
Yeah.
Who knows how long they can keep that going? I like this quote here from their left tackle, Cameron Irving. He says, "We're a football team. We're not the Carolina Christian McCaffreys." You know.
Oh, I mean, because that's what they were last year.
I know everyone just
that is what they were.
But
last
he's
year.
like, that's not what we are. We're not the Carolina Christian McCaffreys. So good for the Panthers, man. Hopefully they have a good year.
And hopefully Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, man, because he's a workhorse.
Yeah, he really is, and they better fucking retire his number the second he retires. He is amazing. Love watching him play, and I love watching him do great things for that franchise. Up next is America's team. Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
Dallas Cowboys are number 14 on this list here. Are up from number 17.
Yeah.
They're fine. It's cool to see Dak back. Don't really think the Cowboys are much to worry about. I think the Eagles will win that division this year.
Eagles?
Yeah.
You think the Eagles win the division?
No, I think they definitely
Over
could.
the Cowboys?
Yeah, I don't
Really?
I'm not really that impressed by the Cowboys. I'm just not.
Really?
Yeah.
Even the way they played the Bucks?
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. They did have a really good.
I mean, they took the Bucks down to the wire. They're the Super Bowl defending. You know, what I mean, they took them down to the last play of the game.
You can really, really argue that they should have won that game.
Yeah. So I mean, that doesn't change the way you see them.
Yeah,
because I guarantee the Eagles aren't going to do that against the Bucks. They won't even put up a fight. They're just not that good of a team.
Yeah, they do have a really, really good shot at winning their division. Obviously, the Giants are nothing to worry about. I think the Dallas Cowboys are obviously a lot better than the Washington football team. The Cowboys are 14 right here. That's about where they should be. I think they should be a middle-of-the-pack team. They should be optimistic for the rest of their season. I think, there's a good chance they win the NFC East. I don't know. I like the Eagles, but...
I'll agree with you that they are a mediocre team.
Yeah.
So I think they'll win the division. I think they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I think they'll probably lose first round.
Sure.
That's probably what they'll happen. That's normally what they do.
Yeah.
That's just the trend that they've always been on.
They are a middle-of-the-pack football program right now.
Yeah.
So... yeah, okay. Cowboys at 14.
Yeah, not mad at it.
I'm fine with it. They're up 3 spots from number 17. Good for them. Tennessee Titans. They're up 1 from 16. They are the number 15 team in the league this year. They lost A.J. Brown, so that's going to definitely hurt them. Derrick Henry has started rolling. They will undoubtedly be 3-1 after next week when they fuck the Jets up.
Yeah.
The Titans are good. I think the Titans are the strongest team in their division. Hopefully the Colts can make a comeback and give them some difficulty. I think this is a good spot for the Titans right now. I also think they are a relatively middle-of-the-pack team with a lot of upside.
Yeah.
I think they have upside. I think they might start rolling mid-season. Hopefully A.J. Brown's not down for too long. We're going to see the Titans in the playoffs. I don't know how deep they'll go, but this is a good spot for them, 15.
Yeah. I don't have too much to say about this other than Derrick Henry. He's going to carry the squad. This squad is dependent on how good Derrick Henry will play. And that really showed me, especially against the Seahawks, that game where they came back. Derrick Henry put the team on his back. And I don't see Tannehill doing game-winning drives every week. I don't see their defense winning them games. I purely see this is Derrick Henry's team, really. Even though they have A.J. Brown and Julio, I mean, that's great and all, but from what I've seen, Ryan Tannehill he's not going to throw the ball all over the field, He's a great play-action QB. So as long as Derrick Henry's running, getting 200 yards a game, they'll win.
Yeah.
That's what I see. If a team loads the box up, makes them throw the ball, we'll see how that goes. So
I love how I guess this is what they say in Tennessee. I've never heard this term, but they call Tannehill and Derrick Henry Tanny and the Big Dog. That sounds like a radio show, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in on 97.5 KSBJ. It's Tanny and the Big Dog.
yeah, it does.
So Tanny and the Big Dog are 2-1, and they're a middle of the pack team with a lot of upside. Good for them.
I think Minnesota should be above them.
This is crazy to me. The Vikings beat the Seattle Seahawks, and they jumped 8 spots. This is the biggest jump on the power rankings. They moved from 24 to 16.
I think that's purely because they were 0-2 prior. So they went from 0-2 to a win.
They are not the 16th best team in the league. They are not the 16th best team in the league. They're not. As much as it pains me
I think they're better than Tennessee.
They're not better than Tennessee.
I think so.
If Tennessee played them, I hope they play each other. Tennessee is better than the Minnesota Vikings.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think
they are. I just think they are.
I don't know.
The Vikings are okay. They're definitely better than the Lions and the Bears, but they're not winning that division over the Packers.
Look at who the Vikings have played. Because I think the losses they've had have been against pretty good teams.
Oh shit!
And I don't think Kirk Cousins has had a bad game yet. And I think Cook is just getting started. And they got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. They got a solid team.
All right, so the Vikings beat the Bengals.
No, they lost to the Bengals.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
By
in
3
OT.
points.
Sorry.
That was an overtime game.
Yes, the Vikings lost to the
Which
Bengals.
they shouldn't lose to the Bengals.
Then they narrowly lost to the Cardinals.
So look, all right, if we're putting Cardinals at number 7,
can we just acknowledge that the Bengals have 3 wins and we haven't seen them on this list?
well, I mean that's because. Wait. Oh yeah, they did win last night. Yeah. So they probably haven't updated it since Thursday Night Football. I mean, we're coming in. It's Friday morning. They probably haven't updated that.
But I mean,
so I mean,
yeah.
they're probably top 20.
And I guess they did just beat the Jacks. Not a big deal. But yeah, okay, yeah. The Vikings came unbelievably close to beating the Cardinals. In the first half of their game against the Seahawks, I think the Seahawks really outclassed them, and then that was the Seahawks game to lose. The Seahawks didn't score a single point in the second half.
Yeah.
But
you know who dominated at the end of that game was Justin Jefferson, who's up and coming superstar wideout, and that's why I'm saying Minnesota I think is better because I think they have more talent with Cook, Jefferson, and Kirk Cousins. I don't think has played a bad game yet. If we're putting the Cardinals at number 7, and then we're saying Minnesota's at 16, and they're losing by 1 point to the Cardinals, it says something.
yeah,
Within a high-scoring game, 33-34. I mean, that's not easy to do.
well, I mean, so
Still early though.
there's 32 teams in the NFL. 16 is literally the middle.
Yeah.
I would say Titans, Cowboys, and Vikings can all interchange for that 16th spot,
Yeah,
that
I could
half
agree.
best team
I could
in the
agree with
NFL.
that. I'll agree with that. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
So Vikings 16, probably going to finish second in that division. They'll probably be a wild card team. It'll be interesting to see what happens with them. Adam Thielen, super consistent. Kirk Cousins, pretty good QB system wise. We'll see what happens with the Minnesota Vikings. I just don't know if they should have jumped 8 places. Maybe they should have never been ranked that low to begin with.
That's what I'm thinking.
But 8 places.
That's what I was thinking.
Is pretty insane.
So do you want to keep going, or do you want to go to maybe 20 and stop, or do you have to go through the whole
I
list?
want to see where the Colts are.
All right, yeah, let's go see where the Colts are.
Let's do
Sure.
top 20, but
I'm
then
down
we're
to see
going
where
to
the Colts
scroll
are, for sure.
through the bottom. 17.
There you go.
Down 8 spaces from top 10, my beloved, the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Hang an out of order sign on the Seattle Seahawks defense because it's currently broken. It's we've
Yeah.
we surrendered 532 yards to the Titans.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have lost to the Titans.
That was all Derrick Henry, though.
Yeah, we
Derrick
shouldn't
Henry
have-
had 300 yards.
I know, but he didn't at first. He started really
the second
slow,
half,
and
the
then he
second
just
half.
went off.
Yeah.
The Seahawks, if you just looked at the first half of the Seahawks looked really good against the Colts, but in their last 2 games, if you just look at their first half performances, the Seahawks look amazing.
Yeah.
It's the second half where the Seahawks fall apart.
Yep.
We lost both of our 2 losses. We were in control of the game and blew it in the second half. Our defense is a huge problem. Another problem that the Seahawks have is we must stop committing bonehead penalties. We gave up over 100 yards to the Titans on penalties. There were crucial moments in that Vikings game where we would have a 3rd and long and they were dead to rights, and we would give up, a pass interference call that would give them an automatic first down.
Yep.
The Seahawks have a lot of work to do. Thankfully, Russell Wilson looks good. He is always consistently good. It's just how good does the team allow him to be, how good they are around him. DK Metcalf will, I think, eventually go on to have a really good season. Tyler Lockett, if he can stay healthy, will have a good season. The defense has to come together. Stone Forsythe needs to, add an impact to our offensive line. We need people like Flowers and Poona Ford to stay healthy and be good. The Seahawks can return to being a top 10 team. I think they will hopefully eventually end up finishing second in that division. It'll be hard, but
yeah, it's going to be really tough, man. It sucks being in such a challenging division like that because it's almost unfair, but it is what it is, and you just have to live with it. So
sure,
I mean, you have Russell Wilson, and that's going to be your ultimate deciding factor. Whether if they're going to let him sling the ball, they're going to put him in position to win the games. That's going to be your
Seahawks have to really bounce back when they play the 49ers this week. They need a huge divisional win to restore some balance. If they can beat the 49ers and then be tied for them with their record in the division, that would be huge.
Right.
Hopefully they get some help from a Rams loss or a Cardinals loss this coming week.
Yeah.
But yeah, Seahawks have some upside this year. They deserve to be 17, lower middle of the pack type team right now.
I'd agree with that.
And as much as it hurts me, goddamn, they dropped 8 spaces, but they deserved it. They looked horrible. Next, number 18, the New Orleans Saints. They are 2-1. Jameis Winston's eye surgery apparently worked because he's seeing the field a lot better. He looks like a better quarterback than he did before.
Yeah, he still made some bonehead. He's still doing Jameis Winston shit out there. He has done some where he's like in the middle of geting sacked and just launches the ball in the air. And just you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
The Saints,
but he came out and had a 5-touchdown week 1, which everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, the Saints aren't a particularly good team. I think that division will go to the Buccaneers and then subsequently the Panthers. I think the Saints are definitely better than the Falcons, but they deserve to be the 3rd best team in that league. 18 is a fine ranking for them. They could be a little lower.
I'd put them lower. I'd probably put them like a couple spots lower.
20.
Yeah, probably. I don't know who they have ranked 19 and 20. Obviously, I see Bengals right here. And it doesn't look like they updated it, so it is 2-1 Bengals right here.
Yeah. So the Bengals climbed 7 spaces to 19.
So if they're 3-1, which obviously they have, I mean that's 4 games they've had to play, and everyone else only played 3, so it's not too fair.
Yeah, so they're 3-1. They maybe stand to go up a few spaces, but that win was against the Jaguars, and that's not worth too much.
Yeah. So yeah.
Joe Burrow
he looks good.
Like he is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He looks like he did deserve, indeed, to be a number 1 pick. If he was on a better team, I think he'd be, doing well. The Bengals' offense is fine. If they can just keep Joe Burrow from getting hit too much and if they can keep him healthy, I think he'll have a good season.
And he's got great receivers to go through. Great
19
receivers.
is a fine spot for the Bengals.
Joe Mixon looks good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They're fine there. Their division in there with the Browns, Chiefs, and Ravens is tough. So we'll see what happens for them. Up next, number 20, and then after this, we'll just scroll through the rest of the list, and we'll stop on the we'll stop on the Colts and talk about them for a little bit. But the Pittsburgh Steelers dropped 8 spaces from 12 to 20. They absolutely deserve this. Big Ben is toast. I think we are nearing the end of this era of the Steelers.
He's got to be last year, man.
Tomlin and Roethlisberger will possibly make exits. Roethlisberger for sure will exit this year. As much as I love him and as much as I enjoy him as a person.
I mean, he's great. He gave us some great years of football.
Enjoy him as a person. I was about to talk about Tomlin. I don't really enjoy Roethlisberger as a person. I think he possibly raped somebody. But Ben Roethlisberger is definitely at the end of his fuse. And what I was saying was, as much as I enjoy him as a person and I like him as a coach, I think this is the year we see Mike Tomlin have his first losing record. I think the Steelers probably go 8-9 this year. I think they miss the playoffs. And I think we see a restructuring and a new era of that team. Pick up the phone and call Cam Newton, Pittsburgh. Or, maybe they can make something happen and get someone in there to helm that team. But the Pittsburgh Steelers should call Cam Newton.
Yeah.
He should be the quarterback of that football team. TJ Watt is amazing, but it's not enough. The Steelers will not make the playoffs this year. Mike Tomlin will have a losing record for the first time. They deserve to be probably lower than 20. Their one fluke win against the Buffalo Bills was weird as fuck and should not have happened.
Yeah, very strange.
So yeah, the Steelers.
Yeah, I agree.
nothing to be worried about.
I agree with everything you said. I have nothing to say further on that.
Their division that they're in is what? It's them, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Ravens. Yeah, I was
Yes.
wrong. I was wrong earlier when I said Ravens, Chiefs. It's that division is the Steelers, the Browns, the Chiefs, and the Bengals.
Right.
Steelers will not win that division at all. If anything, it'll be the Chiefs, then the Ravens, then the Bengals. They're going to be the worst team in that division. Now let's fast forward. Dolphins 21, Eagles down 2 at 22. Pats are down 8. Big drop for them. Mac Jones looked like a scared little girl out there. Longest gave up the. Was that them that gave up the longest touchdown? No, who had
No, that was the
190?
Jaguars.
Oh, I know Mac Jones got popped. And
That was the Jaguars and Ravens.
Yeah, and it was like a field goal.
Yeah, it's a 68-yard field goal attempt.
What do they call that? A kick six?
Yeah.
When you return Anyway, New England Patriots fell 8 spots to number 23. The Washington football team, who originally were thought to have a really good defense, got decimated.
Well, when Fitzmagic went down, they ultimately went down. But they had a huge win with over the Giants. It was really fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, those
But that was
NFC
it.
East matchups can be funny and weird.
Yeah.
Washington football team down 3 spaces to number 24. Yeah, we'll see what they can do. Not too interested in that football team. The Atlanta Falcons up 4 spaces to 25. That's probably fine. They're not a threat to do anything. Number 26, down 3 spaces at 0-3, the Indianapolis Colts.
Yep.
Tell me about them.
It's tough. That's tough to see ranked 26. I will tell you, like, I'm obviously a fan. I'm obviously biased, but I will tell you, I think they're scroll up some more. Scroll back up. I think they're better than the Falcons. I think they're better than the Washington football team. I think they're better than the Patriots. I think they're better than the Eagles. I think they could beat all these teams. I think they're better than the Dolphins. We're playing the Dolphins next week, and I guarantee you we will win this game. I'll put my life on it. I'll put my life that the Colts
wants
beat.
revenge on the Colts.
No. That he left with the good. He left with the good
I know,
intentions.
I'm just saying.
But I'll say,
there's always that thing when like a guy plays their old team and they go off.
Yeah. I think so. I think the Colts are better than all of those teams. The only reasons those teams are there is because they have one win and the Colts don't. And I think the Colts have had really tough. I think they're better than the Steelers. I think they're better than the Bengals.
You think they're better than the Bengals?
Yes. And I will tell you, I think they should be 19. I think the Colts should be 19. They're only there because they're 0-3. And this is obviously, and if you look at their schedule, the Colts have played tough teams every week. They haven't had an easy game.
Seahawks, Titans, and Ravens?
No, not Ravens.
Seahawks, Titans, and whoever just beat y'all in week 2. Y'all lost to the Titans last week.
Rams.
Oh, that's 3
That's
tough
what I'm
teams.
saying. 3 tough teams. And obviously we only lost by 3 points to the Rams. The other 2 games were really close. They're only there because they're 0-3. And I will say once we're gonna get a win, we're gonna get our groove back.
Yeah.
As long as we stay healthy, hopefully Quentin Nelson, that ankle injury isn't too bad and he comes back. Colts will be top 20 team. They'll be inside the 20 for sure. There's no way they're this bad of a team. They have too much talent. Coaching's too good. Carson Wentz is going to step up. Carson Wentz hasn't had a bad week. They just need to get some couple easy wins. We got the Dolphins this week. We'll get that win, and we'll move along, and we'll be contenders to make the playoffs for sure. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's gonna take a lot of work to bounce back from 0-3, but hopefully they can do it.
We will.
Detroit Lions lost but moved up 4 spaces. They are 0-3, but for some reason it's been fun watching them, try and win these games.
Yeah.
They lost.
They should have beat the Ravens.
And they should have beat the Ravens. Justin Tucker, I still don't know how he did it, but they are up 4 spaces despite losing. They're 27. Houston Texans without Tyrod Taylor are going to do nothing this year, and no Deshaun Watson. They're number 28.
Bears look so bad.
The Bears look horrible.
So
I
bad.
have faith in Justin Fields, but they can't protect him. So
they didn't. The offense they ran for him was shit.
yeah,
So bad.
The Chicago Bears will ruin Justin Fields.
Oh yeah, so bad.
They deserve to be 29. They are very bad. One of the worst teams in the league, undoubtedly. Number 30, arguably the worst team in the league, the New York Giants, 0-3. They fucking suck. Danny Dimes is trash. They need a new quarterback. Saquon can't.
I like Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes is a bad quarterback.
No, he's not.
He's a bad quarterback.
I don't think so.
New York Giants suck. I don't know what the fuck it's going to take for them to turn it around, but they won't be doing it this year. 31 is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They
could step up and get some wins if Trevor Lawrence gets more confidence. And same with Daniel Jones, dude. Give Daniel Jones some more confidence.
They have a bit of upside. Zach Wilson could be good. I'm sorry, Trevor Lawrence could be good. They have a bit of an upside, but yeah, they're the 31, 30. They're the next to worst.
Oh, yeah, I
best
mean,
team
they're
in the
definitely
league.
not going to do anything, but they could get some cool wins.
Right. Number 32. Without a doubt, undoubtedly, the worst football program in the National Football League is the New York Jets. They are a dumpster fire. They are a horrible team. Derrick Henry is going to fuck them long dick style on Sunday.
I don't understand how you can be bad for so long.
Yeah. I don't understand what it is about the New York Jets. I don't know if someone put a curse on them years ago. I don't know what it is. They are so bad in such a different way every week. They are going to continuously be the last or the next to last ranked team on this list for the rest of the season. They might win 2 games. 2-15 is the record I'm calling it for the New York Jets. No reason to talk about them any further.
Yeah, we've already talked about them too long.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to call the podcast for today. We looked at the power rankings. We've talked about the season. We talked fantasy. We talked about our own personal teams. I'm very excited for this week's slate of games. Let's just real quick, I want to look at the upcoming games, and I just want to see the game I'm most excited for. Pretty sure it's going to be that Sunday night game between the Raiders and the Chiefs. Let's look at week 4.
And I like that these teams like the Chiefs and the Bucks and some of these other supposed to be Super Bowl teams are struggling because I like the adversity,
Yeah, it makes
and I kind of like that.
interesting.
You know what? I kind of like Colts are 0-3, and I'll tell you why. It sucks, but I'll tell you why because I feel like it builds your character more.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because if you're winning all the time, like you just feel like you're on top of the world, and you know what I mean. You're not humble very much. But like if you go through some losses and some adversity, it's gonna make you a better team in the long run.
Right.
So, and I think we'll see where it goes. We'll see.
All right, so here's what I want to do real quick. I have the full scoreboard pulled up for week 4. I'm just going to scroll down. We just quickly say who we think's winning each of these games. All right, this is week 4 of the NFL. We have, let's see, let me click this so I can just mouse down. Or no, I think I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to click and drag. Fuck. Okay. All right, Washington football team versus the Atlanta Falcons. At home, I'll go with the Atlanta Falcons. You?
Washington.
Okay, that'll be good. Bills are going to fuck the Texans 6 ways to Sunday.
Bills.
They've got that game easy. I think the Lions go into Chicago and win. I've got the Lions winning that one, getting their first win of the season. Panthers Cowboys will be a good game. It's in Jerry World, so I'm gonna say fuck it. The Cowboys go to 3-1. Panthers lose their first game.
I got Cowboys.
Colts Dolphins. I think I'll go with your Colts.
You better go with my Colts.
It's in Miami. It's gonna probably be a beautiful day. 87 degrees. It'll be warm. The Colts are due for a win. They'll probably get it over the Dolphins.
They'll get it.
Browns-Vikings is going to be a good game. It's really going to show what these two teams are made out of.
And we were just talking about these teams.
It's going to be in Minnesota. The Vikings have a really good fan base, but I think I'm going to give that one to the Browns still. I think the Browns will take that game. Browns
I'm going
defense
Vikings.
looks good.
I'm going Vikings.
All right. Giants, Saints. I've got the Saints beating the Giants. I think they'll probably beat them relatively easily. Giants will drop to 0-4.
You know what? I got Giants.
Okay. Hey, are the Saints back to playing in their stadium?
I don't know.
Be interesting to see where they play.
I got Giants, so I think we upset Giants.
Okay. You got the Giants. Titans, Jets. I think it is a comedic game where the Titans win by some score like 45-10. It's going to be really bad. Titans are going to decimate them.
Yep. Agreed.
Chiefs play the Eagles. Both teams are 1-2. This will be the test to see if the Chiefs are actually really bad. If the Eagles can beat them, I think the Chiefs need to be really worried about their season. But
there's no way Chiefs lose that game. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, unless they really are genuinely not good this year. But I think the Chiefs go into Philly and they win relatively convincingly.
Yep.
Oh, undoubtedly the best game of this week: Cardinals Rams.
Division.
It's in LA. As good as I think the Cardinals are, the Rams win this game, but it is going to be a fun game. I fucking hate that I'll be working while this game is on.
Is that a 3 o'clock game?
Yeah. I think I have like a pretty sizable break during that game's time. I'm going to just be on my phone watching that game. It's going to be great. Best game of the week will be that one. That should be the primetime game.
I got Rams.
Seahawks 49ers. Going Seahawks, baby. We're going to go into San Francisco and punch them in the mouth.
Seahawks.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun game to watch. I've got the Seahawks. Love a good NFC West divisional game. Ravens, Broncos.
Ravens.
We're really going to see what the Broncos are worth. Pretty sure the Ravens are going to go in there and
Ravens will
beat
win.
them. But it'll be good to see what kind of a fight the Broncos put up. Steelers, Packers. The Packers are playing in Lambeau. They are going to fucking destroy the Steelers during this game.
Packers.
It's going to be bad. Aaron Rodgers throws 4 touchdowns. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Patriots. The only reason this is the primetime game is because it is Tom Brady returning to Foxborough. Tickets are averaging $1,200 a ticket for this game.
Godly.
It is absurd. It's going to be nuts. I'm so happy that I will be home and off to watch it. I think the Buccaneers win. It'll be close. I don't really think the Buccaneers are that good. I also don't think the Patriots are very good. I'm not super excited about this game for anything other than the Tom Brady storyline. Buccaneers win by a narrow margin. Foxborough's heart is broken, and I want to watch Tom Brady look Belichick in the eyes as he leads them down the field on a game-winning drive in Foxborough. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want a fourth quarter or overtime Tom Brady touchdown game-winning drive, and I want him to look in Belichick's eyes before he throws a bomb to Gronk in the end zone. Is Gronk hurt?
I think he's back. He'll be back.
I want to watch a Gronk spike in Foxborough on the Pats. Fuck the Patriots. Let's have a good game. And then the Monday night game. I'm excited for it. I think the Chargers win.
I got Chargers.
It's going to be a good game. I want to see how many Raiders fans turn out. But that is a good Monday Night Football game. Usually I'm not nearly as excited about Monday Night Football as I am for Sunday Night Football.
That legit will be a good game. They're two very well coached teams, and they got great quarterbacks.
That is going to be a good game. I'm excited to watch it. Yeah. All right, man. That is our football sports edition
First
number
one.
3. Yeah, we've never talked about football on this show.
Well, it's the first football season since we started.
I know, yeah.
Midnight Variety
when
Hour.
we started this podcast, it was February, and the Super Bowl had just happened,
Yep.
I think we started this maybe 2 weeks after Super Bowl
Yep.
55.
Sure did.
Was last year 55 or 56? 55, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen the lineup for the Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah. Okay, we can talk
This
about
year?
this real quick. Dr. Dre, Snoop, Missy Elliott. No, not Missy Elliott. Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige.
Eminem.
And Kendrick,
Lamar.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know where Mary J. Blige is from, but if she's from LA, this is crazy. We have
She probably is. I think she's from Cali.
3 of the biggest Cali artists, fucking K-Dot, Snoop, and Dre, performing in Los Angeles. I'm pretty sure this stadium is in Inglewood, isn't it?
That's gonna be nuts, man.
It's gonna be wild. First of all, Snoop Dogg doesn't even really perform live like that anymore.
I don't know.
And when the fuck was the last time Dr. Dre had a concert? Like,
Never.
This is gonna be wild.
So that's what I'm interested in. Like, what songs are you gonna do?
And how do they have time for all of
That's
this?
what I'm saying. I mean,
Are they just gonna get up there and rapid fire? Like,
Eminem alone, like, come on, like, what songs are you gonna do? They have to do some classic Chronic 2001.
They have to.
Got to do Chronic 2001, and then probably just some classic Dre and M songs. And
Bro.
then what is Kendrick gonna do? Kendrick's got so many fucking bangers. Like, what
I
the
know.
hell, man?
they should do some shit off Compton, or I don't know.
And then it's just Mary J. Blige just gonna be the
She's just gonna
singing
be
the chorus
singing
and
in
shit.
the back. Yeah.
Like, what is she gonna be doing? I don't even. There's too many artists.
As much as I respect Mary J. Blige, I hope that's all she's doing. I hope she's just like singing choruses.
Yeah,
and shit
I don't
want
to hear a whole Mary J. Blige
No,
song.
I don't.
I like her
First of all,
songs, but
she's
when you
not-
got Dr. Dre and Eminem and
So I have
Kendrick-
this big thing about the type of artist that they pick for halftime shows.
Yeah.
It should be artists that fire you the fuck up.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have ever had Katy Perry performing Teenage Dream at a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It needs, like, Lady Gaga should not be performing, except for that one song, Applause. That song does get me kind of fired up. But I mean, like, bro, I want to hear fucking, Still DRE, or I want to hear like Gin and Juice in the middle of the fucking Super
Yeah, you
Bowl.
don't want to hear their commercial.
Yeah, I want to hear Eminem get up there and do fucking Till I Collapse. You
Yeah.
know, like I want to hear K-Dot rapping fucking Humble in the middle of the Super Bowl.
Same.
It's going to be wild. It is going to be the greatest halftime show of all time. It is the most excited I've ever been about a lineup. And,
It's pretty cool.
can't fucking wait. As much as I fucking hate the
Pretty cool.
Rams, I love their stadium. It's beautiful. It's going to be an amazing Super Bowl.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be crazy? Rams Super Bowl home team, like 2 years in a row.
Back-to-back years.
home
After
team.
54 years of it not happening.
That'd be
having
pretty
the
wild,
home-
right?
Yeah, and I think there's a good chance that it happens.
Good chance.
I would like to. Who did I say I wanted to see come out of the AFC when we were going through the rankings?
Oh, Bills.
Bills. I want, since I know I probably can't have the Seahawks, I want Packers, Bills in LA. Fuck the Rams.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them
No,
make it.
honestly, I would like to see the Packers too.
Yeah,
I would
I
like
want
to see.
I
Packers.
want Aaron Rodgers to get one more crack at winning a Super Bowl. I want Packers, Bills in LA. I want Kendrick doing K-Dot in the middle of the fucking. I want Humble being wrapped in the middle of the stadium, and fuck, I wish I could fast forward and just like live that night. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be
Pretty
amazing.
fucking cool, man.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. If you're still listening and you haven't completely lost your mind after watching us go through the entire NFL, thank you for sticking around and listening. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I hope you enjoy the rest of your whatever the fuck day it is that you're listening to this. Watch some football, have some beers with some friends at a sports bar, and argue with someone and lose a bet. It's fun. Until next time, you guys, stay safe out there in the cosmos.
Peace.